Alright, so if you've watched any of my videos, you've been forced to stare at the USS Flagg. So let's just review the largest playset ever released with an action figure line. Released in 1985, this was the holy grail of all toys for kids growing up in the 80s. And here we are, 35, 40 years later, and nothing's changed. This is still at the top of the list for must-have holy grail toys if you're a collector. Challenges to having one are, number one, they can be financial because to get one that's near complete is not cheap. And two, it's a matter of logistics. The USS Flagg is about 7.5 feet long and about 3 feet wide at its widest point. So having the space and figuring out how to display it is a challenge. Flagg came with one figure. Here's Admiral Keel Hall. And here's a picture of the file card if you want to read it. And two vehicles. It came with a fuel tanker with 2 hoses and nozzles, and the little taxi vehicle that I reviewed in the Sky Striker video, along with the arrestor hook and arrestor cable back here. While we're on the flight deck here, there is sort of a like a blast shield to safely hide behind before your Sky Strikers take off. On the front of the superstructure, you've got two levels of balconies. The top one you can only get to via this ladder here. Anti-ship gun, a couple anchors along the bow. On this side we have a little radar dish and a teeny tiny set of stairs. There is an elevator panel here. There's a cool little boat here, but one that does not drop down anywhere near water level. I do have the megaphone walkie-talkie thing, but I have no idea if it works actually. Working crane, another anti-ship gun. And around back on the stern platform, I actually have one of the most highly sought after pieces, the fantail deck railing. Inside the superstructure here, along with that fantail deck railing, I also have this little guy, and I also have the antenna cap up here. 3 of the hardest to find little pieces. I deserve no credit for tracking them down though, by the way. I did just get lucky and purchase a Flagg that had all 3. I was lucky enough to have a father who spoiled me with this kind of stuff. So on my 7th Christmas, I got this. And having one again isn't just awesome because it's a USS Flagg, but because it reminds me of him and the greatest Christmas I ever had. Quick follow-up because someone asked and I didn't have time to shoot it in the previous video. The under part of the playset is what really leaves a lot to be desired. The USS Flagg doesn't really have a hull per se. There is just a thin piece of plastic. This is a flimsy piece of plastic that runs the length of the whole playset that just kind of shields the rest of the trusses that hold up everything. Besides the price and the space, if there is another detractor about the USS Flagg, it's the way it's designed to really just be set up and stay in that one place. It's not really something you can move around. Personally, I still had a ton of fun with it as a kid, but it is something to be marveled at and not moved.